And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight always with that mainstream media and helping provide you the timely truth, centered around 80 different categories of consumer advocate advice and content here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And our goal is to help you win. You know, we always say it's to helping you win in any marketplace. Of course, we're heavy on the real estate side, 80 different partners, categories, and 50 plus partners where we help you understand more about your daily decisions. This show is a little bit different. We want you to engage with us in an effort to help you win in any marketplace. As we say, we are addicted to winning.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
So we want you to save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372. Save our consumer advocate hotline. Now, you can call or text that line anytime. It's an off-air number. So we want to make sure that you reach out, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And bookmark our website, consumerqb.com, consumerqb.com, a plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. And we appreciate all that are sending in the positive comments and feedback about the show and texting in for the rent versus own analysis, the insurance reviews. People are really resonating with our message, and we really appreciate that. And tonight as well, just want to remind you, kind of our last plug for our event going on tonight. Ken Shamrock in the house, Florida Firearms Academy. It's going to be a great time. If you are driving by and you want to make the event at 7 o'clock tonight, you'll be able to see the event live. It's a live radio show, broadcast, TV show as well, networking opportunity, VIP meet and greet with Ken Shamrock going to be in the house. Antonio Tarver could not make it, but it's going to be an awesome time. Catered food. We've got DJ Yahoo going to be spinning as well. Salem Media Group's own DJ Yahoo in the house. It's going to be awesome. Going to be a lot of fun. Catered food, DJ, bartender, networking, VIP meet and greet. So we'll see you at Florida Firearms Academy there as well. So in studio today, let's make our introductions. We also have Thomas King on the phone. We're going to come right back to Thomas King. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. Welcome in, sir.
Happy New Year, Brandon. It's a great year, 2020.
That's right.
So we'll be talking about doing protection reviews and kind of as people are getting ready for the new year and cleaning out and looking at things, what it's the importance of getting your eyes on your insurance, make sure you're getting the best coverage and best rates out there and how to find that.
That's right. Great time of year to do that. Do that review, look at everything, make sure, before you know it, we're going to be talking about hurricanes in August and all that good stuff coming up. Anthony Ornella as well, Wealth Strategist. Thank you for coming in, sir.
Oh, man, so good to be here. Everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. Happy New Year. 2020. Yeah. Can't believe we made it. This is great.
2020 vision.
Yeah, right?
That's right.
Talking a little bit about how to get a hold of a good investment advisor, how to vet them, and some of the restrictions on finding a good one. And maybe, just maybe, if there's time, we'll talk about the impending election and see what it has in store for the different market trends.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about market trends, where you see things happening. We're seeing a real estate shift in the real estate market already. That shift is happening. It's been so good for so long. How can it continue to rise? So that's what I want to warn sellers about, especially I talk to for sale by owners. They say, oh, I'll just hang it out there. I'm not worried about it. Well, if you're in a position where you really need to get liquid, and because we saw how many people did we see back in 06, 07, 08 lose a lot of money in equity. That's what I'm kind of warning people about right now. We're seeing prices in New York and California already on the decline, and it's just a matter of time until that kind of makes its way into the Midwest, down into Florida, Georgia. And, we're seeing that type of thing happening right now. So that's our goal. We want to help you as your consumer advocate. Giving a big shout out to our restaurant partner. I love Taps Restaurant over at the International Plaza. Excellent food. It's located at the International Plaza on Bay Street, and it's awesome. I love it. The ambiance is wonderful. Very friendly staff. The food is superb. It's a local gastro pub as well. Restaurant, Taps Restaurant, Bar and Lounge. Wonderful food. Now, make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show and that you heard about them right here on AM 860 The Answer. They're going to give you special discounts and opportunities to taste the food. Excellent food over there. They got a happy hour going on as well. Wonderful ambiance. Taps Restaurant, my favorite restaurant in Tampa Bay. Excellent food. I love it. And I just want to let you know about a couple of hot listings that we've got here in Tampa Bay. We just did a price reduction at 861 Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach. If you're looking for a beach property, this is it. This property is priced below the comparables. The comparables comping out around 730, 740 range. We're priced below that price point. We're in the 600 price point here at 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach, two bedroom, 2 bath, beautiful property. You walk literally 200 steps and you're on the beaches of Clearwater Beach, the dolphin-filled waters of Clearwater Beach. And also taking you up north a little bit to Port Richey, 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. This is a $2 million listing of mine. Now, I know that's a very specific buyer going to be able to qualify for that, but a $2 million property, if you're in that price point, that CEO level of properties, this is a great one to check out. 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. Waterfront, of course, gorgeous views overlooking the Gulf of Mexico there, deep water fishing, and just what a gorgeous palace here with over 6,700 square feet. Beautiful property. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump right into it. Doug Levi's in the house. Doug, give us an update. What's happening in the property casualty market? What are you seeing out there with flood? Yeah. And actually, let me go to the phone first. So I got Thomas King on the phone. Sorry about that.
Right.
Thomas King.
Hey, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year's.
Florida Firearms Academy, doing a lot of good out there. Florida Firearms Academy, and folks are learning about self-defense.
Yes, sir. We're actually doing kicking off this year with a big bang. We got the Tampa Bay icon Brandon Rhymes coming out to our show with Ken Shamrock, the legendary UFC champion. That's going to be a lot of fun here, and you're going to meet and greet with him. The food, open bars. We're going to actually give away some cool prizes as well. Florida Firearms Academy, and the best part is the proceeds go to the Wounded Warriors Project, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Wounded Warriors. I mean, can't be a more deserving crowd than that. You know, the guys that are men and women putting it on the line to protect our freedoms.
Absolutely, and the best part about it is the veterans they're free to come in, free general admission. So you just come on in, check out the store, see what we're all about, check out the show, meet Ken Shamrock, and have a good time with us and see what we have available, all our discounts, all our savings, all our classes. We have 14 different instructors here that teach 40 different types of classes. So it's just a lot of fun, a good hangout, and a lot of Olympic sports. So what we do is the shooting and training and competition shooting.
Yeah, that's awesome. And when you think about self-defense too, Thomas, we saw just recently too, you had in Texas, another church shooting, and guess who saved the day? The concealed permit holder. The
guy with the gun, yeah. And, a lot of people actually frowned upon that guy and said he should be put in jail for being a murderer. And the shooter, the bad guy, he just needed mental help. So, there's always two sides to crazy stories out there. And in my eyes, this guy saved hundreds of lives, and he did what he was trained to do. So
that's right.
Training goes a long way, and that's what we want to make sure we focus on. Even though it's a sport, we also do it for defense as well, whether it's getting your CWP permit to carry or just for home protection. We set up our range with walls, and we make sure you run through rooms and you shoot bad guys, bowling pins, steel targets, balloons. We time you, we score you on it, we teach you how to do it correctly and safely. So that's what matters right now, having a stress-free, fun environment that's safe and out there that supports the Second Amendment.
Yeah, I tell you what, too. I was watching American Greed last night, and there's some stories. There's some these criminals are getting more and more sophisticated. They're popping GPSs on your car. They're knowing when you're in and out. They are getting more schematic in their strategy, Thomas. And I know you hear that. You talk to a lot of the law enforcement community at your facility at Florida Firearms Academy.
Right. Well, we train a lot with that, and we actually find out what the criminals are doing and how they're actually stalking your house and how they're actually getting into your house because they know your whole schedule. And we have a whole class on this about how to make your house a hard target. So they're just going to pass on by. They're going to take a look at your house, and if they study it all, they're going to say, yeah, not that house, and they're going to go on to the next one. That's very important today because there are so many break-ins. Every minute of the day, there's break-ins. There's 2 home invasions every minute of the day here in the United States, which is crazy. Every minute, and that's insane, and that's why we want you to protect yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And check out Florida Firearms Academy, 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Over almost 200 reviews, excellent reviews online, very highly rated. 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. It's kind of in that Oldsmar area as well, so it's very convenient to a lot of Tampa Bay.
Yes, we're right between the flea market and West Chase here. Right now, we're trying to work with. I don't know if you know what's going on in Virginia right now, but it is insane. The governor over there is trying to shut down every single gun range over there, trying to take away your firearm rights, basically get rid of your Second Amendment. And he's telling the police officers if they do not abide, because the police officer is saying, sorry, that's unconstitutional, he's telling them that they're going to get fired and they're going to be not getting paid. He's going to try to bring in the National Guard to stop these people. So there's a big protest right now going out there. Everyone across the United States is going out there on January the 20th to protest this because what they're doing is unconstitutional, and they're taking away these people's rights.
Wow. Yeah, that's unbelievable. I saw some of that online. I was reading up on that. And yeah, just the overreach, the government overreach, the infringement on our rights, our God-given rights to protect and to, pursuit of happiness and to right to bear arms. It's under fire. And this is what's good. It's going to be a big fight in 2020. You see it already happening. It's
going to be crazier and crazier each year. This is where it's really going to get real, where, I don't know if you understand what the Civil War happened in Virginia back in 1861, but it's going to start there again because these people aren't playing games, and so are the people that are pro 2A. And I would love to see it go down with, where everyone can get along and just make things happen, but, it's getting scary out there right now. So we want to make sure that people understand no matter what gun laws you pass, it's not going to stop a bad guy. They don't care about laws. That's just something on paper to them. It means nothing to them.
Yeah.
Everyone, you're just taking away the rights of us to protect ourselves.
That's right. Absolutely. And we've seen it happen numerous times where the good guy that has the gun is able to stop the perpetrator that has, a lot of times automatic guns, or they're the ones that are doing the killing in mass.
Right, and it's always someone with a good guy with a gun that has to stop it. So Just like in the church, just like the other day in West Chase, there was a shooting of a home invasion. This guy protected himself from people that broke into his house. So
wow,
it's crazy out there.
Yeah, and also it's a sport. We talked about that a little bit. We're talking with Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. It's a sport, so men, women, children, even, at a certain age. What age you recommend for children to just come in and start learning, Thomas?
Well, we have a kids shooting team now, and that's 10 and above. And what we're doing is we teach them twice a month. It's $40, covers ammo, firearm, range fee, everything, instructor. We're going to gear them towards competition shooting. So once they're ready, they're going to start doing competition shooting. However, we train kids that are 5 years old and up as a free class for safety, just about firearm safety, and if they come across one, what should they do to not get hurt.
Wow, that's awesome. Great stuff, Thomas King. Keep up the good work. Keep fighting for our rights and educating and helping folks understand more about their self-protection, their home protection, and self-defense over at Florida Firearms Academy. We appreciate you, man.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot, Brandon. You guys have a great New Year's.
Yes, sir. Likewise. All right. That's Thomas King, longtime friend of the program. And again, the event tonight, Wounded Warriors. Veterans get in free, first responders, military. And it's going to be a great time, VIP meet and greet opportunity. Ken Shamrock, my business partner on another one of our companies, the Business Growth Celebrity Academy. VIP meet and greet opportunity at Florida Firearms Academy, 7 to 10 p.m. Catered food, DJ Yahoo spinning. Lots of fun. Going to be an awesome time. We'll see you there. And stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, we're going to get to Doug Levi here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Strategic Insurance and Anthony Ornella in the house as well. Wealth Strategist here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62, who knew? I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62, who knew?
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember it. I still about Florida
to be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back their right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
You're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our #1 goal. Quick shout out to Infinity Medical Institute here in Tampa Bay. Longtime friends of the program. They're over 10 years in the business, and they offer low T therapy, weight loss plans, cosmetic surgery such as Botox, improved sexual wellness, increased energy. Over at Infinity Medical Institute, they offer the pellet hormone therapy, and they have successfully treated over 40,000 patients, and they are the leaders in bio-natural hormone replacement right here in the Tampa Bay area, right down the road from our studio, actually down at West Shore Boulevard in Tampa. Infinity Medical Institute. Give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Doug Levi in the house, Strategic Insurance.
2020, here we are.
Sir, man.
That's right. So kind of on a state of the union, if you will, and what's going on in the marketplace. We're talking a little at the break. One of the things we're seeing is that rates are increasing across the board.
Oh, wow.
So even more important, I think, out there to get the message out is when's the last time you've really reviewed your insurance? We're seeing different homeowners carriers, especially having rate increases anywhere from 12 to 15%. Wow. Now, at our agency, we have a process in place where we go and we actually do the market comparison for you. We've got over 18 carriers, and our whole goal is to find you the best coverage and the best rates each year. You can think of us as your insurance quarterback almost. Yeah, there you go. And so it's just important. If you haven't done a protection review or haven't looked at your insurance in a while, it's probably a good time to do so. And really what I've told clients, just talking through it, is, you know, you think we've had hurricanes the last probably 3 out of 5 years between Irma and Michael. And now we're starting to see some of these things, I think, hit, if you will, where some of the rates are starting to catch up. And it's important to get your eyes on it. We want to make sure people are winning in every area as we talk, and consumer finance and insurance is certainly a big expense. So people can feel free to reach out to us, TampaBayInsurance.com. We'd love to help them out and do a review for them.
TampaBayInsurance.com. Doug Levi here in studio, Strategic Insurance Services. So it seems like since the rates are just now increasing, it's something that is it like the actuaries, like they're looking to see, okay, what did we pay out? What's our return?
So, not to bore the public out there, but just, view from 30,000 feet real quick is insurance companies buy insurance. Think about that, right? So the insurance companies buy insurance. It's called reinsurance, and that's a global marketplace, right? So basically a lot of this can be driven by reinsurance rates starting to go up. And it all is, a lot of it's due to natural disasters, hurricanes, things like that. So I tell people, look, I can't predict what your rates are going to be next year, this year, 5 years from now. But what I want to teach you is how to have a process in place so that we help you win each year. Yeah. Right. So that we can do the review for you. We can do the heavy lifting for you. And we'll come back to you and say, hey, we're recommending switching from, company A to company B, saving you money as opposed to going with the renewal over the rate increase. And, that's just our philosophy as an agency. I think it's important for people to think about. My book, I wrote Surviving the Insurance Jungle. Research shows that average Floridian spends $5,600 a year on their home and auto insurance.
Wow.
If you think about the average family that's got a home that they own, and if they've got 2 cars, the average family spends about $5,600 a year. That's not insignificant. So we want to make sure we're maximizing and getting you best rates, best coverage year after year.
Yeah, best rates, best coverage. And that is kind of a play as well when you look at how much are they willing to submit a claim for, right?
Sure.
So if you have a $500 deductible versus $1,000, what's your each family's a little different.
Absolutely. I try and just take a real practical approach with people. Number one, I'm a big believer on higher deductibles. The higher the deductible, the lower your premium, right?
Yeah.
That's just like insurance 101, principle 101. And again, a very practical takeaway. Anyone listening out there, get a look at your auto, get a look at your homeowners. Even if you didn't want to do anything other than just raise the deductible, it's going to save you some money likely. Now, I always like to see, well, how much is it saving me, right? If I go from let's say a $500 to $1,000 comp deductible and it's only saving me $10 every 6 months, that may not make as much sense. But a lot of times on the homeowners, you'll see pretty big savings going, certainly from a $500 to $1,000 or $1,000 to a $2,500, all other peril deductible. I think kind of what you were also asking, Brandon, in terms of, do I file that $1,500 claim? I normally recommend against that.
Right.
The carriers, there's no doubt, the more claims you file, the more that's going to cause rates to go up and then potentially, to look at even non-renewing you. So, we just try to take a practical approach. We want to treat each person, each situation, with the care that it deserves. And then we walk our clients through the claims process. We're there in the event of a claim. When something goes wrong, we walk them through it. We follow up. We do weekly follow-ups to see how the claim's going. And when we need to get involved, we do.
Yeah. Doug Levi here in studio. I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm your host, the Consumer Quarterback Show. So when you look at the real estate business as well, so the real estate's popping. There's a lot of deals happening. You got the different issues when it comes to flood. One of the things people consider is flood. And you've mentioned on the show, there are private investors now. There's private opportunities, and that's really helped a lot of the waterfront properties.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. There's more options than ever before with flood insurance. That market's changed a lot over the years. If you're in a flood zone and have flood insurance, definitely something to look at. Again, you could reach out to us, make sure, are you getting the best rate and option? And a lot of times we're able to shop and help people save money, you know? So the other thing to take in mind too with the flood insurance is if you get what's known as an elevation certificate, if you're in a flood zone, there's a specific inspection that's done by an engineer that kind of looks at your property and benchmarks it, and, with what the flood zone is and all that. And I want, again, not to get into specifics on all that, but sometimes it can be a good idea to even get one of those or have one of those updated and compare and say, does this now help get me in a better spot than what I currently had?
Right.
So all those things. Go ahead.
Well, an elevation. What I was going to say is that the elevation certificate. A lot of times, people, the proximity to water. That's one, but it's also how high elevated is your house pad, because that's when the rising water is going to enter the home.
There's no doubt. No doubt. And we've had clients just recently who we looked at an elevation certificate and they were 2 feet above flood.
Yep.
And that actually helped save them money over what they were currently paying because they actually had a policy where they did not have an elevation certificate on file. We were able to have them get an elevation certificate. We were actually able to track it down from the builder.
Nice.
And we were able to help out with that. So that, again, we just love those real world wins. We're able to just kind of help navigate through. We get it. Listen, I tell people all the time, I do this every day and it still can be confusing and complicated and expensive. So we want to come alongside the the public out there, the families and business owners, and just help them get good coverage and good rates and make recommendations that are going to be a win for them and their families.
And it's such an ease to work with you and your team. We've worked together, and thanks for your help on our home and some of our real estate deals that we've done. You jumped on the phone with FEMA in some cases. Hey, here's what we're looking at. To come in and quickly analyze the situation, get to the end result of do we need flood? What's the policy going to be? How can we save money? Can we shop this rate? Can we get a better rate? Maybe raise the deductible like we talked about.
Sure.
So we want you reaching out to Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. If you want to get a review, we'd love this. Is a great time of year to do that. Just simply text the word review or insurance to 813-670-7372. Text insurance review or review to 813-670-7372. And if you're not a texter, you can call, leave a voicemail. My promise is to get back to you before our head hits the pillow. And also submit an email at consumerqb.com. consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. Doug's contact information is certainly on that website as well. consumerqb.com. All right, Doug Levi, thanks so much. Coming up next, Anthony Ornella. More from Doug coming up in the show as well. In our lightning round, Anthony Ornella, wealth strategist. We're going to talk about building wealth and some of the keys to that here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So stay with us. Don't touch that dial. And we'll see you right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew? I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew?
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore. Ask an attorney about Florida law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
if you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by Brandon Rhymes, the Platinum MVP team here in Tampa Bay, helping you win in your real estate business. We're looking for agents that want to join our team. We're interviewing just for a couple of spots. So if you're a real estate agent, want to grow your business, future-proof your business with some of the stuff that Gary Keller's doing, with Gary Keller investing $1 billion into Command, the first and only of its kind technology system for real estate agents. That's awesome. Plus what we're doing with our show will help you grow your celebrity, grow your sphere of influence. So reach out if you're a realtor out there and you want to grow your business. We're looking for a few select realtors that we're interviewing right now to join our team. PlatinumMVPteam.com is our website, PlatinumMVPteam.com. You can see links there, of course, to our properties, and check out consumerqb.com. And that's our radio and TV show website. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, watch previous shows, get some more information, do some due diligence on myself and our team. My wife and I own and operate one of the top teams in the area as well, featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, Real Producers Magazine, multiple publications as well. So we'd love to help you with that, help you grow your business as a real estate agent. And maybe you're someone new looking to get into the business. We would love to talk to you as well, and we can get you on the right track to get into that six-figure club, make that six-figure club here in Tampa Bay. So we want to help you win. That's our goal, 813-670-7372, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. And in studio today, we got Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, and Anthony Ornella, Wealth Advisor as well. Coming up next here on the show, I want to plug a couple of our hot listings that we've got here in Tampa Bay. We've got some properties available. This one's 216 North Spring Boulevard in Tarpon Springs. This is a gorgeous property, and Tarpon Springs is one of the coolest little communities, most waterfront in the state of Florida. I didn't realize that until we had the mayor, Chris Alahusos, on the show. Tarpon Springs is the city in Florida with the most amount of waterfront property. Very cool stat as well. So 216 North Spring Boulevard. This is a gorgeous property. Check out the beautiful photography, compliments of Fabre Frameworks. They do an outstanding job with the real estate photography. I use them on all of our real estate properties. But check out the beautiful flooring, the lighting in there, natural light coming through. It's got just a gorgeous layout, beautiful kitchen, got that beautiful wood, that light color wood, granite, and a nice sitting area for the family there to enjoy. 216 North Spring Boulevard, Tarpon Springs. Check out all of our real estate properties at PlatinumMVPteam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, let's talk wealth. Let's talk wealth building, how you can do it, tips and tricks here. Anthony Ornella in the house. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. It's great to be on here. But before we jump into the wealth building stuff, just a few things that we've already talked about on the show.
Yep.
The event tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, what a good event. You get to meet a legend in any sport. It's a great opportunity. But more importantly, the Wounded Warriors, it's not just active duty. We're talking about the men and women that served, were hurt significantly. Mm-hmm. If anyone's been hurt from sports or anything, you know that it takes a long time to recover, and all the proceeds of that event are going to help those folks. Yep. And so really, if you are out and you have the time, swing by, because it's going to be a fun time and it's a great cause.
That's right. Florida Firearms Academy, right there on Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Awesome. Thanks for that.
Of course. And a couple of things Doug brought up and I just absolutely loved. When you do save money by changing and switching to lower rates, you don't just spend that money.
Yes, that's right.
Put it to work for you. One of my favorite phrases is getting the money to work for you.
Yes.
And when you do save money, you can handle a higher deductible because you've saved the money and that money is making money for you. Okay, that's the trick. Not just saving money to spend more, saving money to make it work for you. And lastly, and I can't impress this pun enough, and this goes into finance, this goes to any consumer business. Doug mentioned it, having an agent to call. in the time of crisis is great. Doesn't matter if it's a flood, doesn't matter if it's a market crash, doesn't matter if your house burns down, whatever. Death of a loved one. Having somebody to call in that time is so vitally important. So, Doug, great points you brought up, man.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
right on point.
We got local consumer review from Bright Local 2019 study. 91% of consumers say that positive reviews make them more likely to shop or use a service from a business, and likely seeing a negative review, 82% of people don't. And the reason I bring this up today is because there are some very strict regulations on the investment advisor industry that make it so they are not allowed to use testimonials or even receive testimonials.
Wow.
I'm talking if your friends are in the yacht club and someone puts their testimonial on the bulletin board, the physical bulletin board, that is technically against regulations if the advisor knew about it.
Wow.
So, when you're out there searching, you're Yelp reviewing, you're Google reviewing, you're searching websites, you're not going to find testimonials for investment advisors per SEC regulations, FINRA regulations, the NASA model rules that are used in the States. You are not going to find what most people use to use services for investment advisors. So I think that's a really important point. In today's day and age, everyone is doing research on somebody else to find if they can trust them, if they're trustworthy.
That's right.
Unfortunately, it is for good reasons that it is regulated. It is to stop fraud. It is to prevent people from getting taken advantage of. But when you're turning to the internet to find who you can turn to, it's not just the marketing material you see on commercials and big box advisory firms.
Mm-hmm.
Lean on a friend. Give somebody a call, like Drake says. Call me on the cell phone.
Hit me on the phone, the hotline, baby. Make it bling.
Yeah, get to know somebody or get their trusted friend to make a referral to somebody that they know, like, and trust. Because at the end of the day, that's what you want with somebody. It doesn't matter who you're consuming with. If you can trust them, you know that they have the best interest in mind.
Yeah, and I would even take that a step further as well, because we're going to talk about fiduciary capacity here in a moment, and say, especially the big companies that are running those expensive commercials on TV, New York this, Pacific that. You see a lot of those different companies that are huge conglomerates with thousands of people working there. Those most of the time are not a fiduciary. So would you please explain, Anthony, what a fiduciary is?
Of course. So there is acting in a fiduciary capacity. There is a fiduciary, and then there is acting in the best interest of the client.
Right.
So they all sound identical, and I'm sure if you looked them up in the Webster Dictionary, they would be just about the same. Yeah. But when somebody is working in the best interest of the client, that means they answer to a higher authority. So broker dealers, agents that work for broker dealers, that goes for non-independent insurance agents, that goes to investment advisories that are broker dealers. They work in the best interest of the client, so they answer to their corporation first. Now, again, they have to be ethical in their dealings, but still, acting in a fiduciary capacity is someone that doesn't necessarily carry any license at all. It can be a trustee, somebody who looks after a trust and just executes a trust, somebody who is the executor of a will. They have to follow guidelines, but they have to, again, act in a fiduciary capacity. Now, here's the big one. Being a fiduciary. Being a fiduciary is a legal and ethical regulation that has the fiduciary put the client's best interest before theirs.
Yes.
And again, it all sounds very, very similar. And again, not to put anybody out there driving to sleep here, I can't impress upon you the importance of working with a fiduciary. That means they can't reference or offer, they actually cannot make any recommendations until they have done a complete review of your risk tolerance, your goals, your current financial situation. And it sounds sometimes invasive. They get a lot of information on you because they are a fiduciary, because they don't want to make any kind of reference or recommendation that would be counter to what your needs are. Not your best interest, your needs are.
Yeah, absolutely. So Anthony Ornella here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Brimes, in case you just joined us. Now, we're talking about the fiduciary capacity and the ability to build wealth over time. And you talk about one of the main words that comes up is compounding, right? Yeah. So to drive that point home that he's making, and what Tony Robbins talked about, one of my mentors, of course, in his book, Money Master the Game, he talked about when you're paying in a non-fiduciary capacity, when you're making an investment payment every month that's coming out of your paycheck, maybe it's going directly to that investment vehicle that you chose. The difference is with compounding now, it's the difference. Here's where I'm going to paint the verbal picture for you. It's like paying $30,000 for a Honda Accord, or over time paying $300,000 for that same exact Honda Accord. And the financial services industry is the only industry where you can see that type of discrepancy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's I want to kind of display a myth here. So Albert Einstein's famous quote that everyone uses, and they actually misquote. So Albert Einstein's quote is, "The eighth wonder of the world is compounding numbers, not compounding interest, because compounding interest goes negatively as well." And that's what happens to a lot of people. We'll talk a little bit more in the lightning round.
Point.
But compounding numbers is much more efficient because there's no negative. They just build upon each other. So it's important to consider when you're putting your investment money into things that can lose, because investment compounding can be a loss as well, a loss compounding. But yeah, to your point, paying over time versus paying just kind of lump sum up front. There is a strategy called dollar cost averaging, and that's what a lot of people use nowadays. They have small amounts. It's a fixed dollar amount that they invest on a regular basis. That's how most people contribute to their 401ks. Most people set aside money for retirement. The difference is they purchase direct purchase of securities with that same amount. That allows for I guess greater compounding of assets held. But when you add in the different management fees, when you add in the different financial structures that take money away from a client, it can be staggering at times.
Big time.
It can be staggering.
Yeah, it really can. And it is one of the biggest industries that needs some type of oversight. It needs some regulation, but you're not getting it because, of course, all the lobbyists and what you see in that industry, and they pick on us real estate agents and mortgage brokers over a point here or a point there, and so. But yeah, so you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're talking with Anthony Ornella. So let's talk about a consultation, maybe a call to action for folks. What would you like to see happen here?
Yeah, cliche as it may be, January is the time of goal setting.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and this, and I believe I've referenced it in the past. A lot of people don't save for retirement. A lot of people don't save for retirement, and it is simple as taking a look at your finances, doing a little bit of a review here, and setting aside 10%. Now, 10% for different people is going to be a lot different. It's going to be different for a CEO. It's going to be different for a minimum wage employee. But the truth be told is, you have to keep some money for yourself always. I mean, to quote the richest man in Babylon, that's a principle. 10% of the money that you make should be yours forever. And you should continue to bake. That is your family's war chest. That is whether you have a family or not, that is your war chest to make your life a little more comfortable. So a call to action, try to think a little outside the box. I mean, winning in every market, right? You have to win in every market, and that includes your personal life. And so think outside the box, because a lot of the things that are easy to do, we talked in the break about mutual funds and stuff like that. They're great low cost ways to get into investing, but it does come with management fees. It does come with high risk of loss.
Yeah.
Looking into alternatives that can truly change your life. And the way that people get ahead is to make more money. And that's not just with a raise. That's just making your money work for you to make more money.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Be careful out there when you're investing, especially. You want to be careful. 10%. I love that. Pay yourself first. Got to be a principal. You got to do that and get into an investment vehicle. Anthony Ornella, one of the best in the business, and you can find him on LinkedIn. Anthony Ornella, and he's on LinkedIn, of course. ConsumerQB.com. More from both of our expert contributors here in studio coming up in our lightning round, where you want to stick around because we're going to give you top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom here from Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, Anthony Ornella, as well, wealth strategist here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, you know, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. Of course, that is our goal. And I love how Anthony had explained marketplace. Could be your insurance marketplace, could be your real estate, could be your investing, your retirement marketplace. So many different places, literally 80 different categories that we help you out with on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So think of us as your consumer advocate. That's our #1 goal over 7 years now, 7 years running here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to help you win. That's our goal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings here. I want to let you know about a property that we've got. We got a lot of vacant land, by the way. So if you're looking to buy land for commercial use, residential use, I've got a dozen or so vacant land listings. Just listed another one, which is perfect for a strip mall right in Tampa off of Sly, and it's riverfront. It's on the river for $114,000. Don't have pictures yet, haven't given the pictures to Rob yet, but let's talk about some of the vacant land. 9200 Gun Highway in Odessa, right at the corner of Racetrack Road and Gun Highway. Think about building an office park there. I mean, that's a no-brainer. People are driving by that every day. 9200 Gun Highway in Odessa, $400,000 or $500,000 investment. We've got 15676 Mahoney Drive in Spring Hill. This property is for residential, 9 acres in Spring Hill for just over $100,000 investment. I've got 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo, Pinellas County, one of the hardest places to find vacant land. I've got 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo available. Commercial opportunity, corner lot. This property is not going to last. There's a lot of people that are investing in the Tampa Bay area. And check out all of our real estate listings, vacant land as well, at PlatinumMVPteam.com. 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 And every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our feel-good story of the day. And today we've got a good one here in our Tell Me Something Good.
Tell me something good.
All right, so as you know, at the Consumer Quarterback Show, we got a heavy heart for our veterans here. A lot of our expert contributors are veterans or their spouse is a veteran. We love our veterans and first responders here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Matter of fact, our event tonight is benefiting Wounded Warriors, Ken Shamrock at Florida Firearms Academy. Tonight, 7 o'clock. There's a sense of brotherhood amongst these men and women who serve. And yet here's another example of why we support the community through this. So here, California firefighters are heading to Australia from Southern California. They're heading to Australia to help fight the massive bushfires that are burning in New South Wales and Victoria. And the Angeles National Forest Service is sending 20 veteran firefighters said Andrew Mitchell. The firefighters will come from all parts of Los Angeles area who battled the Saddle Ridge fire in October. Now they will fly out to from Los Angeles. And a quote here, this is definitely kind of a once-in-a-career opportunity for many folks. Chief Robert Garcia with the U.S. Forest Service says, quote, they have experienced leading crews themselves, and they have anywhere from 5 to 20 years of experience. And in the past, Australian firefighters have often come over to the United States to fight wildfires in their off-season. So Australian firefighters come over here to help train with us and fight fires. So I imagine, guys, there's definitely brotherhood there, but there's some probably tricks and tips that they use they're learning from each other.
Navy SEALs training over with other guys over in Israeli Defense Forces or something. So
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. So cool story. I love that. Banding together, fighting together, and the forest fires. That's again, property casualty insurance. It happens. We saw Puerto Rico, 2 back-to-back earthquakes in Puerto Rico now. Lots of things happening, so making sure that you have your property casualty insurance checked up. That's the idea here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to make you, help you think a layer deeper when it comes to these different types of decisions. And a quick shout out to the Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I love going over there, spending some time. Standing ovations were awesome. The sand castles, the sand art that was created. Fantastic and generous amenities. They have 2 pools on site. And reach out to Clyde Smith. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And book directly as well with Bilmar Beach Resort. Don't go to one of those search engines online. You get a better rate by booking directly with Clyde Smith, the general manager, Bilmar Beach Resort, Gulf Boulevard, Treasure Island. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And we appreciate you supporting all of our sponsors of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, in studio, we got Anthony Ornella, wealth strategist, Doug Levi, strategic insurance as well. It's time for our lightning round, fellas.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Doug Levi, strategic insurance.
Zig Ziglar's got a great line. He says you can have everything in life that you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And that's, I know, the heart of this show is helping other people win. So a great way for people to start winning in their insurance is do a review. Make sure, are you getting the best rates you can out there? Do you have the coverage that you need? Feel free. Check us out, TampaBayInsurance.com. We'd love to help all the listeners out there.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. TampaBayInsurance.com. Check them out online. Anthony Ornella.
All right. So election time. It's coming around the corner here. What that means doesn't care. I don't care who you're rooting for. I don't care what your affiliations are. It's going to be a volatile time. It always is. Yep. And no one can predict the market, but change is the only constant, right?
That's
so
right.
It doesn't matter who gets elected. There is either going to be some certain volatility coming down the pipeline. So what's that mean for you? If you're currently heavily invested in the equity markets, it's time for you to take a look at some more balanced funds, or wild hair idea, go after something that is either not tied to the stock market. There's a lot of different investments and different assets that do not correlate at all with stock price, which is a very, very valuable tool at this time of year. And negative correlations as well. So if you're leaning heavy one way or the other, mix it up. Diversify protects against volatility. So it's going to be a volatile January, I imagine. We've had too much good market to not have some volatility going on here. So strap in, diversify, look for all their assets.
I like it. Good stuff. All right. So I'll talk a little bit about the opportunity that we live in, just the fact that we're alive here in 2020, one of the best times to potentially start your own business, or, to be happy. If you're not happy in your business, if you're not happy in your career, your job, then make a change, do something different. There's so much opportunity that we have in this world of, internet, social media apps, ways that you can make money. There's flippers that are going to garage sales, flipping stuff to eBay, flipping stuff from Facebook Marketplace. Think about the opportunities that we have, and really just focus on that. Think about the opportunity, and there's a lot of ways that you can grow and stop making excuses. There's so many times we hear people making excuses. They don't have this, they don't have the resources. Well, I would say it's resourcefulness. You have to be resourceful in order to live the life that you want and build that legacy. And there's a lot of opportunities. So that's my takeaway from today's show in 2020, coming into 2020. It's amazing to think about that, Doug. Here we are in 2020 already.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, really
I mean, it's got a nice ring to it. I'll say that.
It does.
It's got a good ring to it. So
bring it in the new
that's
year.
That's it, man. There you go. 2020 vision. So hopefully all the listeners have a great year out there and putting a lot of these tips into place.
That's right. Take the tips and make something happen. Make something happen. 7 to 11. If you don't like your job, 7 to 11. What are you doing? What are you doing during those hours right there? That's when you can make your online, your internet, grow your celebrity, grow your sphere, whatever you want to try to sell online, start a business. Lots of ways that you can do it. Hey, another great show. I want to thank Doug, Levi, Anthony, Ornella, our whole team behind the scenes, putting it together, all of our producers, everybody making it happen here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up some food or clothing, hand it to that homeless person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, and the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.